very happy to actually have a conversation with you.
Glad to have you on, man.
I have like one or two questions I want to ask you real quick.
You could have 1 or 2 hours of questions if you need.
I'm not going to take that much of your time. But so I know AliExpress is just kind of like what we're using as a reference for product research. I'm still in the product research phase. I'm like 19, 20 products right now. But when we're looking at products, one product in particular, it kind of has variations to the product where there's like upgraded packages where it's like a muscle stimulator for like workout, like just like stagnant work at home, like maybe you're recovering from an injury. But there's like different levels to it where you can get like just the base, like, oh, you do your glutes and abs, or glutes, abs, triceps, biceps, and it's all different prices. Like, I know we're not sourcing straight from Ali, but is that something you want to stay away from? Like, because I know when that comes to building out like your own landing pages, product pages, it's going to create differentiations in like what the pricing is going to be for each product. Is that something we typically want to stay away from? Just have
That's such a good question. So let me walk you through it, James. So I'm going to tell you a story about a similar brand that I would run. It was just a random store that I just built. It was a BSF example store that I was just running just to show people how well the systems work, right? And I was running a Slackline product, right? And there was a bunch of add-ons, right? And this brand was crushed. It was doing really, really well, right? Really, really well off the bat, like 60, like 70K months, which is super cool. But in order to scale it, like, it was highly scalable, but you needed to hold SKU of so many of the add-ons because there was so many additional items and things that people would buy because they want to buy all the different monkey bars and all the different things for the Slackline between the two trees, that it was doing well. We were selling great amounts of products, but it was a nightmare because of how many SKUs we had to hold, right? And it was just a big mess, right? So I ended up just kind of revealing the whole story anyway and just like put it to bed. But that is ultimately what I'd recommend that you stay away from, right? Because you want to really focus on having, fluency in your process. Down the road, right? I could have maintained the store, scaled it, whatever, if I was focusing on this specifically rather than the other brands or stores that we were focusing on at that time. But the reason I didn't is because it was a brand new business and store. I'm not going to go ahead and buy 100 SKUs of this, and this, right? When I don't even know it's going to be long-term extremely successful, right? So start off with something that's more of a fluent one product movement, right? And then down the road, we can have add-ons and things like that, right? It's not something that you want to do at the start. It's going to be too much of a annoyance, and it's going to cause problems that aren't needed.
Gotcha. And I guess I understand that. I guess to add on to that, or to further my question, if there is a really solid set, like at a really good price, just one variation, like in that product page, could we hypothetically just use that one out of like all the different sets, like different package levels? Like if you just wanted to choose that and sell that one package, like would that hypothetically work?
Yes, you can do that as long as there's not like a million options, because the more options you add, the lower your conversion rate will be. And you just want to make it so easy for a consumer to buy your product and for them to understand the marketing angle. You don't want them being like, oh, there's this. So, in terms, yes, you can do that, but I want to make sure the one that you select is actually the winning one and the best one and the one that people want the most, right? We don't want to just take, these are our products. We just take something random that people don't want, right? It still has to pass the system at the end of the day as well, keep in mind.
Yeah, you don't just want to throw stuff at the wall. I get that.
Exactly. So yes, you can, but just make sure it's the one that people want the most out of the mix.
Sounds good. And I guess just kind of going off, I forget what his name was, but like right before me, you were talking about kind of the product, like sweet spot, like the order number. I heard you say 200 to like 8,000, but I remember Arvin on one of the last calls had mentioned kind of like 2,000 to 8,000. Is 200 too low of a number, like order number?
Well, the thing is, personally, I like to do 200 to 8,000 because sometimes, you're going to see a product that not many people have sold yet, but it'll pass the system with flying colors. 2,000 to 8,000 is pretty much the same exact thing as 200 to 8,000, really. It just opens up your, options more. Go by 200 to 8,000, right? Because you want to still have products that maybe don't have a ton of sales, still be able to be prioritized on your list, so that's the sweet spot.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that's kind of all I had. And I just want to give you like huge thanks, and like your team in general, like for really just keeping me motivated, working with me. My onboarding process, I think his name's Daniel. I must have been probably one of the hardest onboarding processes. He's like back and forth, like over the course of like 5 days, just trying to figure out like the
I appreciate that, man.
ACH, just all the bank info going back and forth. He worked with me and he was so patient. And just seeing what your team has to offer and like the way you've changed all these people's lives is huge. Like I had just gone through another course, like kind of like fake gurus, like only been in the game for like 2 years, cost me $3,000. And immediately after just looking into what your course had to offer, I was like, man, why wasn't I working with this guy? And I'm really happy I got involved early on in like my e-commerce experience. And I'm really looking forward to like furthering my level with you guys. And
hey, James, put it like this. I appreciate that more than you freaking know. And I appreciate the fact that you recognize like all the little things that go into this, right? Because it's hard to run BSF, right? This is a big thing that we do. So, keeping the level of quality on a consistent basis is what we need to do every day, right? So, I appreciate you bringing that up. I genuinely do. And, we go to bat for every single one of our people here. We make it happen. So James, thank you. And welcome to the party, man. I think this is going to be something that, like you said, like you've been in some other experiences before. The second you step a foot in here, you smell a little fresher breath of air,
It's great. You guys breathe straight confidence. Like it's one of those things too. The other program I went through, I was lost. Like I was kind of in a fog. With you guys, it's just straight, like step by step, like get one thing done before you move on to the next. And for me, being able to like work at my pace, take it slow like that, and like having you guys on board the whole time is huge. Like being able to carry on with work, school, everything else I have going on in my life and still feel like I'm progressing through this is major. And the stress levels minimal compared to what I was doing before. So I appreciate you guys. I'm so stoked to implement your guys' system into like my everyday life.
Hey, you're the man, James. I appreciate that, brother. And, it's an absolute honor, and we're going to continue to do better and better every day. We're going to always just do the freaking best we can. And I seriously appreciate you mentioning that, man. I really do. That makes my day.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, happy Q4, bro. Have a good one.
Happy Q4, James. And anything that you need from me, man, just literally let me know. Nothing's too much, just let us know. We're here. And you know how these sessions work now? Like you hop on and you could have 1.5 million questions. I'll sit here until I'm blue in the face, or you tell me I could kick rocks.
Absolutely. Hey, careful on the Red Bulls though. I went hard every day. I put the 3 at work. Messed me up, man. You got green tea.
Just Q4. Just it's day one Q4 and no more. I promise.
The health in mind. Have a good one, Justin.
I appreciate you, James. Good to see you, bro.